I don't know if they're still pertinent, but apparently I have been able to stream to StreamYard without a problem, but he has suffered now 3 shutdowns, unfortunately. Yes, oh, this hurts. This really hurts because this is interesting stuff, and I don't know exactly where he was picking up from. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this out just in case because I don't know what's going to happen. We're still on the Ancient Origins site, ancientorigins.net, talking about the megalithic origins of Gobekli Tepe and ancient Peru with the same architects, written by Hugh Newman. And this is a 13 July 27, 2020, 13th of July, 2017. Because we were getting down about the relief carvings that match those at Gobekli Tepe, because if you remember that fox carving, amongst many others, including that very detailed 3D relief. Perhaps the sun revolved around the circular towers. The reliefs got exposed only at certain times of day. Could this have been a useful clock, or did it have some other shamanic meaning? I wonder if Gobekli Tepe was used in a similar way, as whoever repaired the site and covered it with thousands of tons of dirt may have wanted to keep the pillars and therefore the reliefs in their correct position, suggesting that they may hold some astronomical secrets that have yet to be deciphered. Cotimbo is another tulpa site further around the lake, about 25 kilometers from Puno. The nearest major town, Puno, the nearest major town. The stonework here reaches another level of complexity with the beautiful puffy polygonal stonework, along with some exquisite reliefs, including serpents, pumas, and even faces of creatures emerging from the rock. As you can see from the images, and there are images that follow, the similarities to Gobekli Tepe are there. The faces that emerge from the rock look like the stone totem statue found at Gobekli Tepe, now in Urfa Museum. And we see several pictures of these are significant in the Puma Punku are significantly relieved where you compared to the Gobekli Tepe being a very flat relief that sits in a few inset degrees. They are taken very high relief in the Puma Punku cases. Lustani, Peru, Cotimbo, Peru. The first artifact found at Gobekli Tepe has one of the images. If you find this article, there is a Silustani, Peru carving of a relief that looks very much like a lizard. And there is an artifact found at Gobekli Tepe. One of the first, it says the first artifact found at Gobekli Tepe, originally thought to be of Byzantium origin. And it's an almost identical rendering in the same fashion of a lizard, with the lizard body top down, both legs, front and rear, oriented forward at right L-shaped angles. Moving on, near the entrance to I want to say it, and it's probably going to be murdering the word. Cotimbo. Near the entrance to Kutimbo, amongst piles of broken stone, a unique relief of a cheeky critter sits on a lump of rock that was once part of one of the towers. It looks like some kind of feline, but its unusual elongated fingers are an anomaly. This one closely resembles the vertical creature on the solitary relief, high relief at Gobekli Tepe. Almost monkey-like to think of long fingers, but to say feline makes me think of lemurs and things like that. The article goes on. The Rosetta Stone of South America. At a site about 6 miles from Tiwanaku in Bolivia, a 3 foot wide ceramic bowl was discovered that shows Proto Sumerian writing next to indigenous Aymara script. It has been labeled the Rosetta Stone of South America. Not only does it suggest Sumerian visitors once arrived on the shores of Lake Titicaca, it has now been translated, and the use of this type of script has been dated to 3500 BC. What does this mean? It certainly looks like there was an ancient visit by Sumerians around 5,500 years ago. And when we look at the location of where this language was being used, suddenly we see a direct connection between Tiwanaku and the builders of Gobekli Tepe and surrounding sites, or at least a possible connection. I'm doing a little bit of editorializing here. Just the idea of that Rosetta Stone, just the idea of this Proto Sumerian writing next to indigenous Aymara script. This brings up one of the many possibilities that we think about when we go down these rabbit holes. We think of, when did indigenous peoples find their way to the Americas? How long has the Americas been populated by humans? How many different times did somehow different cultures find their way to Americas and share their language, share craftsmanship, share technologies? Interesting thoughts. Cross-cultural bonds. Arthur Poznansky, the eminent archaeologist, I think I said that right. Arthur Poznansky, the eminent archaeologist of Bolivia, dated Tiwanaku to around 17,000 years old based on archaeoastronomy. However, since his initial deductions, the date has been revised several times, with the Fuente Magna Bowl possibly nailing down one date at least. When you visit Tiwanaku and Puma Punku, they look like a cataclysm has given its best shot to destroy them a very long time ago. With the evidence of advanced agriculture beginning in both South America and the Fertile Crescent at about the same time, we must reconsider the idea that perhaps the Fuente Magna Bowl is in fact just a part of a long cross-cultural bond that had existed for thousands of years. We now see a picture given of the script written into the side of the Fuente Magna Bowl, the Proto-Sumerian script. And you can see, although this is scratched, you can see the scratched details. You have many of the scratch diagrams and almost given that the writing with the I want to say cuneiform. I think it's cuneiform. I'm probably going to be shot by an actual archaeologist or a historian